Yeah. So this is what a rebuild looks like, just in case you're wondering. 22 to 24 different moving pieces on a 53-man roster. That's half of your roster that just came in and did a flip over. You look around, you take your time, you break down. Uh, Offensively, you got a new scheme. Defensively, you got a new scheme, which means new playbooks all the way around. Senior advisors coming in for this team: Caldwell, Capers, Thomas Brown and the crew, McCown as your quarterback's coach. Frank Wright comes in with a brand new staff. You even got new coaching. You got everything brand new from the head up. Uh, you even keep pillar pieces, a couple of pieces to keep, to keep us from start over from complete scratch, which is you keep a Derek Brown, you keep a J.C. Horn, and you keep a Brian Burns, which is on each level one guy to build around. And then you keep this offensive line that you basically went out last year and rebuilt. Hence, commencement, a rebuild. A rebuild, no one actually goes through an entire rebuild by breaking down the roster to zero, but they do take the scraps that they have and build around it. To anybody who's watching this and don't understand what a rebuild is, you're currently in it. This is what it looks like. Um, Retooling is what not San Fran, what Philly did on the fly within a year and a half to 2 years, how they turned that thing around. A retool, that's what Philly did. Rebuild is what Jacksonville did, where they broke it all the way down, got a quarterback in, got new coaches, changed that defense, brought in new players all the way around, and got a new coaching staff. Does it sound familiar? Ding, 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 ding. What we did here in Carolina. But excuse my friends. Don't allow me not to be rude anymore. If you haven't already, come on in, like, subscribe to the channel. Show that love. This is for everybody who's in delusion about what we're currently sitting in. Now, this team has had a full drastic change from the head up, toe up from the flow up. And now, as we move forward, we must figure out the direction of this franchise because one, we need young players and we need draft picks. We need to be able to win, and you got to have depth to rotate into some of these places and some of these pieces with some of these guys. Because without true quality depth, every year you're going to be trying to figure out if someone goes down with an injury, you have to figure out and scramble and see what you need to do. But if you have quality depth, you can just next man up mentality. So this team right here, I love it to death. This team is filled with new, fresh, young players. This new regime is really standing behind the guys that they're bringing in because they're looking around and they're saying if we're going to live and die by what's on this team and be judged by what's on this team, we're going to make sure we get our guys in the building. So to anybody who don't believe that, recognize what Frank Wright and the crew just did. They just got a bunch of guys up out of here that was kind of from the Rue regime. They left a couple of pillar pieces that they want to build around, but for the most, they are rebuilding this thing completely around. So make no mistake about it, that's such a hard word for us to say here in Carolina because people truly are in denial about what's the situation here. Because if you say a rebuild, that means the expectation is not to come out and win this year. That's not the case. You can be in a rebuild and still come out and win a handful of games and be competitive. I fully expect the Carolina Panthers this year to be competitive. Competitive means you come out, you win what you can, and you look forward to next year because this team is good. We have a potential to grow together. That's why these guys came in and you see them getting 2 and 3 year contracts because they will have the potential to grow here. I think we will compete next year for titles, and from there on forth, we'll see how the landscape goes in this division. I love the optimist in me says that I believe that in this team for the long run because they have the requisite pieces in now. You got a quarterback in now. You got a running back here for the next 3 years. You got a tight end for the next 3 years. You got an offensive line that's been rebuilt. They're playing porous, but As soon as they get out, they slump. Like he's going through a slump right now. As soon as he get out that, he'll shake it off. I know a lot of you guys are worrying about rotating him to guard. No, that is not an issue. Give him a couple of games to let him get it out of his system. Look, we are entering in the regular season now, and there are no worries going forward. I believe that we are going to be a truly competitive, a chippy team. And coming out, we're going to just showcase that this year, the Carolina Panthers are not to be messed with. Um, there is a new foundation, a couple of foundation pieces, and the atmosphere here is all about winning now. We had to set a culture. We had to get everything straight because without a culture in set, your franchise is out to basically be lost. Without a culture, you are lost. So I love the fact that we now have a direction that we want to head in. We now have guys who's willing to follow that direction. I can't wait. So if you feel like I do, make sure you comment, you like, you subscribe to this channel. Carolina Panthers are currently rebuilding, and yes, come on and be a part of it. It's been your boy Dub Q.